Last time, on Taverns and Caverns Side Stories. After leaving the town of Crete, we made our way towards Gar's Watch, a fortress ran by the Zogun nation that lies along the borders going into the decaying wastes. The name that Bodo the Stinger mentioned has been heavily engraved in my mind, and I cannot seem to forget it. Mawu the Wicked. He was the Koldarian general responsible for leading the Koldarian forces into Aloria, ultimately capturing my homeland and its people. He is also responsible for what happened to my siblings, and I shake at the thought of having to do battle with him, but it is a fear that I must overcome with the help of my newfound allies. As we traveled, we came across a broken down wagon, and after inspection we found the corpses of travelers along the side of the road. But of course it wasn't long until we were interrupted by a man in golden armor, Mawu the Wicked himself. This will be our toughest battle yet, but we must prevail at all costs. He will not stop me from reaching the Azurian Brotherhood, and I will complete my mission even if it costs me my life. For the nation of Aloria and for my homeland of Ashae. Side Stories, Episode 19. Sorceress of Aloria, Part 11. The finale.
And at that point, Ekhardt just kind of stares deep into the creature's eyes. By the end of this, I will have you kneel before me.
Is that so? You forget. It is my turn to strike.
And as he does so, he begins to spin his blade.
Did Ekhardt, you still have your weapon on the map? I don't know if you remember that.
I can't move it except for a bonus action.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
No, you're good. You're good. Just trying to make sure he's not giving himself. I get it.
Yeah, we need it.
All right. So, with that being the case, it is now his turn. He begins to spin his blade.
Allow me to show you true power of a general of Goldar.
And as he spins his blade, he slams it into the ground, and he just gives all of you surrounding him this smirk. Everyone needs to make me a reflex saving throw. That is, let's see here, 20 feet of him. So everyone except Luna and Esqa.
Dexterity, everyone. For everyone curious,
Yes,
reflex means dexterity.
Fuck, 3.5. It's because it's because I'm printing miniatures from our 3.5.
You have to roll a d4 with your stuff. Don't forget.
I don't think it'll help me.
One again.
All right,
I'll do it
Yelar.
just in case.
Sam with a total of 20 on Dex. Yelar with a total of a 6. Kai has a total of a 15, it looks like. And Ekhardt with a 7. So the only one that's going to take half damage is Sam. Everyone else takes full damage. Let me go ahead and make this roll. You all will be taking... This will be fire damage. As he laughs out loud and his sword slams up against the ground, this flaming magical power bursts from his blade. He basically casts fireball on himself. Everyone that failed takes 33 fire damage. Everyone that succeeded will take half.
I'm out. I am out.
You got 1 HP?
Yes.
Sitting at 2. A deck, he is hurt. A deck drops to both of his knees. He's not dead, but he uses his longsword to just stab the ground. He's in pain. And as he's just holding himself up, he's breathing heavily. And as Mawu the Wicked does so, he chuckles out loudly.
Now, let us test your will.
And as he does so, he gets the spell for free, basically. Not an action, but Sam, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Add a d4. So 18.
18. All right. With the 18, Sam, you feel something tugging at the back of your mind, attempting to force its way into your consciousness to try and control you. But your will is at this time strong enough to fight back. You're not sure what's going on, but whatever is going on, you can tell that something is trying to control you. And that is his turn. Kai.
Can my character yell "fuck off, ghost" and kick a
Yeah.
rock?
I mean, your character can yell whatever he wants.
I'm just kidding.
Also, Kai, just so you know, being that I hit him with Guiding Bolt, every attack you have against him this round has advantage.
Ooh, Yelar's hurt.
Yelar down.
Yelar's
Yards down. Yeah.
So let's step to the side a little bit. Still 20. Hold on.
He said, "Oh, that's still 20 feet. Let me back up."
All right, we'll go about there. We'll stay back a little bit.
Guys are backing away further
Where to shoot? Shoot my bow. Hope I hit.
with advantage. 23. That's gonna hit.
I'm gonna add that D4 to that real quick. Oh, okay.
So a 24 total for that 23. Yep.
Yep,
That'll
that'll
still
hit.
hit.
Will a 20 still hit?
No.
Okay, never mind.
God.
It'd be a 19 anyway. I'm doing math wrong. All right, that's one arrow there. Okay.
That will not hit, unfortunately. But you deal 10 piercing damage to Mawu the Wicked. You pierce the right side of his armor, and he feels it again, but he just continues to laugh out. Is that all you have? And you heal yourself for 11 points.
+4. 15.
All right. So it is now Esqa's turn. She just sees what he's doing. She knows her magic isn't really doing all that much, and she is going to just charge ahead. She knows what other magic she has isn't going to work, and knowing who he is, the only other method that she can think of is to attack him with her katana. So she is going to rush him with her katana to join Yelar and everyone else, and she jumps up into the air, slashing down. Let's see if she is able to hit with advantage with her katana of force, which is a magical katana. Oof, even with advantage, she only rolls a 12. She does not have bless. Even with bless, it wouldn't do anything. As she comes down with her katana, he just swings his greatsword and he blocks it, and he just grins at her.
Getting desperate, are we, girl? I gave you and your friends the opportunity to surrender. I am a kind general. Surrender, and I will allow them to live. Continue this nonsense, and they shall die.
A deck. He is on both of his knees. He just takes his longsword and he just keeping himself up with his longsword. Unfortunately, his strength is beginning to seep out of his body from that last attack, but he is not done. He takes the longsword, he swipes and swings at the Rakshasha.
Die, fiend!
And he swings as hard as he can. He rolls pretty well. He's got with advantage. That is going to be a 25. He rolled really good.
Let's go.
A deck is going. That's a wrong die. Let's roll the right die. A deck is able to deal 9 points of slashing damage. And as he does so, he just cuts up along the legs of Mawu, drawing a little bit of blood. And as he does so, Mawu looks down at the deck.
Hobgoblins. Pathetic.
Now
Damn.
I allow a deck to disengage and get out of here. He got his attack in.
He's not backing away. He's fighting with everything he has. Sam, it is now your turn.
Jeez, this is tough. I want to take a health potion.
Smart.
It's a bonus action. You can still use other actions after this.
Yes.
Just remember your bonus action, you won't be able to do your dagger attack.
+4, which would be 13. Okay, so I'm going to drink that, and then I'm going to swing my rapier at him. Let's go with advantage.
All right.
+4. Okay, there we go.
That's definitely going to hit.
okay.
With your rapier. Don't forget you get sneak attack damage because you have advantage.
3d6. Come on. Give me some love. Give me some love. I just need a little bit of love. Right here. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So
I mean,
17
it's still bottom 50. It's God.
I did
This
17
damage is
damage.
sucking his ass.
17 points of damage.
17 piercing damage. You're able to pierce him. He just looks at Sam.
You don't give up, do you, Goliath?
All right.
And I don't have anything else that I could do.
All right. Yelar, I need you to make me a death saving throw, my friend, because you are unconscious. That's one success, an 18. All right. Ekhardt, it is now your turn.
How do I want to do this?
Cast Sacred Ground.
Yeah, I wish. Ekhardt, at this point, he's just using his experience and trying to discern. Can I make a medicine to see if we've really wounded him at this point?
Yeah, go ahead. 25, I'll say, as you're right next to him, you can see every attack that's hit him has drawn very little blood. You don't see any blood pouring out of him. It seems to be every attack that's hit him, his wounds are slowly, I don't want to say healing, but they're not healing him, but they're kind of closing up on themselves.
So
he seems to still be fairly healthy.
Okay.
Your radiant damage did hurt him though quite a bit, but you can't necessarily see that point under his armor. Everywhere else where he has kinks and openings in his armor where people slashed and hit him, you can see that some blood was trickling, but not enough to where you think he would be near death.
Gotcha. At that point, Ekhardt says to Yelar, Esqa, to Deg and Sam, you all should make your way away from this. This is not one that we have advantage enough to kill, but it is one that we can inhibit. And with that, I'm going to need him to go ahead and make me a DC 16 will save.
All right, I rolled a 15 plus his wisdom. He passes, whatever it is.
So there went my command spell. Just
okay.
Went to nothing. And with that, he will go ahead and use his bonus action to cast another healing word at level 1 on Yelar.
All right, Yelar will be healed for
7 plus 2 is 9. So Yelar's back up 9 health. And he'll say it again. You all should flee. And with that, he just stares him deep in his eyes. I know from whence you come. I have seen where your kind are birthed. And regardless of the outcome of this day, you will return to that fiery pit, drug kicking and screaming for the evil you have performed by Penella's grace.
All right, he looks at you and he just takes a deep breath. It is now his turn.
Fool, you mistake me for another being. I am Rakshasa of Ashae. Whatever other Rakshasas you might have come across or heard of is nothing like those that are made of Moritai. We shall conquer all. We shall corrupt all, and none of you shall leave alive.
And he begins to swing his great sword again. And as he does so, he's going to do let's see here. Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw.
He's casting the fire thing again?
That he is.
Night.
I don't make it.
The dex.
+4, right?
Yes. Well, plus a D4 if you have bless.
Yeah, plus D4.
Oh,
All right, what's everyone have? Let me see.
I got a 20.
Wow.
All right.
Again.
All right, Sam made it.
13.
Yelar failed. Ekhardt failed. Luna, Kai are both out of it. Esqa, oh my God, rolled a 4. All right, so I'm going to roll damage. If you succeeded, you take half. Oh! All right, I rolled 39 points of fire damage.
Eckhart's down.
All right, so Ekhardt, I'm assuming Yelar,
Sam,
Yes.
Yelar, Esqa, everybody's down.
Everyone's down. 39 points. Kai and Luna will be the only ones. As he slams his blade down, more fire bursts from his greatsword, and it knocks everyone around him unconscious. You feel the fiery attack from his greatsword just seep into your bodies. knocking you all unconscious. At this point, I want to describe a scene because Kai is still up with Luna. What's going on is he bursts with the fire, dealing massive damage to everyone. And as he does so, he looks over at Yelar, who is now unconscious, Sam, Ekhardt, who are both unconscious. I'm going to do some flavor text because Adek, unfortunately, is going to probably be dying here. Adek, with his last breath, he stands as tall as he can as a Zogunnian swordsman, and he takes his long sword to attempt to stab Mau the Wicked before he can finish off his attack. But Mau is able to block it, and as the fire hits Adek, almost knocking him out, Mau grabs Adek by the neck, lifting him up with one arm as he stabs him in the chest as he did the child with his great sword. And as he slowly pulls it out, he stares at Adek's face with a grin on his face.
You are nothing.
And then he tosses Adek to the side to bleed out past everyone on the road. And he rolls up against the road, almost lifeless, having difficulties breathing. And as that happens, Esqa drops to both of her hands and knees, falling unconscious. And he looks over at Kai at this point, and he has a grin. Kai, you see all of your allies drop to the ground, and you see him just stab Adek in the chest like he did the child before him. And as he looks at you, he holds both of his hands out like he did when he first stepped out the wagon.
Ranger, I have defeated your allies. What will you do now?
It is now your turn, Kai.
Well, what are the benefits on his side? Hold on, how much vacation time are we talking about?
Not being dead.
Oh, not being dead sounds great.
Don't worry, guys. It's not over. We got a lot more coming.
Not yet. It's not over yet. No. Oh, no.
He just gives you this intimidation. And with that intimidation, I'm not going to roll. He's just trying to intimidate you, really. He wants to know what you're about to say. He wants to see how brave you really are. He just stands there in the middle of your fallen comrades, just with both arms out. We have Kai shaking in his chair right now.
No, Kai's just staring at him. Just staring. He's actually debating if he wants Luna to stay here or not, or if he wants her to just dip.
I see you are shaking in your boots.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, I am a kind general. Surrender now, and you may live.
Damn.
I see you rolling your attacks. So you rolled a 15 and then a natural 1 with a total of 8.
Yeah, Kai ain't a bitch. He's gonna stay. If he's gonna die, he's gonna die. That's all it is. All right, but Luna, on the other hand, she's going this way.
So Kai basically tells Luna to retreat.
Yep. Tell Luna to go home. She's out of here.
All right.
Stay away.
So,
and in preparation, I'm also gonna drink another potion.
With a 15 and an 8, I don't think he gets the advantage any longer with you being knocked down, right, Ekhardt? After the radiant attack you did?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
All right. So you missed with both attacks then.
That's fine.
All right. As you shoot both your arrows, what happens here thematically, I guess, he takes his greatsword, he just cuts both of your arrows down, and it is now his turn. He slowly begins to walk towards you. And as he does so, he's able to make it.
Oh, yeah, he can make it.
He just looks at you.
Do it.
You are a fool.
And he's going to attack. All 3 attacks with his greatsword. Oof.
I prefer courageous.
The first one, I definitely going to hit you. I rolled an 18 plus his strength. That's going to be a 23. And the second one is going to be a 21. And the third one is going to be an 18. Do all 3 hit?
Oh, I'm dead.
All right. So the first attack.
You don't even have to roll damage. I'm dead.
The first attack's going to deal 12 points of damage. Second attack is going to deal 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Third attack is going to deal, that is 14 points of damage.
Okay. So about me being dead. I'm gonna assume I am actually dead. What was the first amount of damage?
14.
No, that was the last one.
It was 11 was the second attack. The last one I said, let me see. The last one was
It was 14.
14.
Was the last one.
14 was the last one, yeah. 12.
12.
12.
12. That's
Thank you.
what it was. That's right. Yes. Not that the math actually matters. I'm gonna flip him off as I fall on the ground.
Okay, so he knocks you down. All right, so you flip him off as you
Yep.
grow unconscious. As you drop to the ground, losing your consciousness, he slowly turns around and he begins to walk back towards the party. He looks down at everyone and he just chuckles to himself.
Pathetic. You should have surrendered when you had the chance.
He grabs Esqa by the neck and he's going to lift her up, and he just holds her up like he did a deck, and he begins to shake her somewhat violently, enough to where she is somewhat conscious. And as she slowly begins to wake, he just looks at her in the face.
You have done so much. You cannot live after today. I was going to allow you to live if you willingly returned to Koldar. But your efforts are fruitless, young one. There is no stopping Emperor Ball or Moritai. Prepare to meet your end.
And as he is about to stab her with his great sword, there is someone who is not dead just yet. It is, we'll go ahead and say, after Kai, it was technically Esqa's turn. She is kind of just being held by the neck, unable to move. But on her turn is also a deck. A deck is on the ground, bleeding out. He cannot breathe. He is his lungs have been punctured. He has seconds left before his death. But as he does so, he just slowly rolls his head to the side, glaring at the scene before him. And with his last moment of his life, he shakes and pulls what looks like a symbol from his armor beneath his clothing. He just holds it up and he speaks a silent word before a deck passes. And as he passes, his hand holding this holy-like symbol up drops to the ground. The holy symbol begins to shine brightly. And as it does, before Mawu can stab Esqa, this magic begins to form all around the party. And Mawu, taken by surprise, he takes a step back as this magic forces him to let go of Esqa. She drops to the ground. And as he steps back, he looks around, confused for a hot moment, but he just shakes his head.
Whatever this is, it is not strong enough to stop Mawu the Wicked. Die, traitor!
And he swings his great sword down at Esqa to finish her off. But there is something that shows up. You hear this loud metal clang as it strikes this metallic tower shield. And what steps or appears in front of Esqa is what you all remember to be the half-orc old man Broxarg. As he appears with his shield blocking the great sword, he looks over his shoulder at the passed out party and he looks at Mawu the Wicked, and he has this somewhat serious face on him.
How dare you step ground on my homeland? You shall pay for what you have done, you vile fiend.
And as Mawu's sword is blocked, Broxarg, the older half-orc, pushes his long tower shield forward, pushing Mawu back. And as he does so, Broxarg steps forward and he begins to hold out his hand.
By the light of the Octadic Divine, rise, my friends, protectors of Tirastir.
And he is using what's called mass heal. Everyone is healed to maximum HP. He has 700 hit points that he can divvy out to everyone in front of him. Out of the 700 hit points, everyone is now considered max and conscious. And
pissed.
As everyone is fully healed, you're all still on the ground. You're still prone. You are now awake. However, you see standing before you is Mawu the Wicked facing Broxarg of the Octatic Divine. And after he heals all of you, unfortunately, you see your friend Adek lifeless, bleeding out on the ground. There was no healing him after what happened. You can see that Broxarg is driving back Mawu the Wicked, and Broxarg has a tower shield with a longsword. And as he drives Mawu back, the two of them are at sword. They're doing basically a sword battle between the two of them. However, the party slowly begins to gather themselves after all being unconscious. Broxarg, he is able to cut into several parts of Mawu the Wicked with his longsword. However, Mawu the Wicked is much younger and much more agile and powerful than Broxarg. Remember, Broxarg in current day is about 60, in his 60s, about 63 years old. He has white gray hair now, and he's much slower. He's much slower than he was in his youth. And even Broxarg is having trouble keeping up with Mawu's physical attributes, but he drives Mawu back. Mawu swings his greatsword, and you can see it slams up against Broxarg's tower shield, almost cutting it in half. But then he does a spin attack, and he slashes Broxarg in the left side of his body, drawing blood. Broxarg stumbles back, taking deep breaths. The older half-orc having a difficult time contending with this Rakshasha. He drops to one knee, and as he does so, he looks up at Mawu the Wicked.
I am not done yet. I may be injured, but you have youngsters behind me who are more than willing to pick up the fight.
And as he holds his hand out, he drops his tower shield, and he casts a powerful radiant spell called Sunburst on the Rakshasha, Mawu the Wicked. What you see before you is all around Broxarg, this brilliant sunlight flashes in a radius 60 feet around him. It's not going to harm any one of you. It's only going to harm the evil being in front of him, Mawu the Wicked. And as Broxarg's body shines in this golden light, he deals radiant damage to Mawu. Broxarg does a total of 46 radiant pure damage to Mawu the Wicked. And as he does so, Mawu's armor begins to crumble, and it soon shatters. His helmet shatters into pieces. And what you see now is his body begins to burn in agony as he drops to one knee. Ah! It hurts! It burns! He looks up, and he just begins to drool from his mouth as blood begins to seep out of the wounds that you all have given him prior to that. His armor is now all gone, and he seems to be weakened. Broxarg stumbles back a little bit more. He is exhausted, unable to do much more, and he just takes a step back.
Do you all think you can take on this guy from the rest of the battle?
And at that point, he looks at the rest of you, and Broxarg needs a breather. It is now the party's turn, starting with Sam and Esqa. Mawu the Wicked has been burned with radiant damage. His armor is gone. He is hurt, and he looks up at you. He seems to be weakened. He is not down, but he is not going out without a fight. All right. You all have had second wind. You're back. It is now the true battle. You guys now have the go. Sam, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
I am.
Remember, it takes half of your movement to stand up.
Okay, so I'll stand up. I'll move 15. Okay, then I'm going to pull my bow, take a shot at him with my short bow. Do we still have the blessing?
No, it went away once Ekhardt fell.
Oh no. Our blessing. It's broken. Let's go.
All right, 26 will hit.
Okay.
Just ask it real quick. Does his armor class go down since his armor is gone?
Yes. He is now a doable boss.
Hold on, wait a minute. I want to pick out a word there that you just stated. The one that starts with the D, the doable part.
Doable, boss.
Okay, so
He is now on par with your challenge rating.
oh Jesus. Okay, so I'm gonna hit him with this. Okay, and then I can still do my sneak attack.
You do not have sneak attack because he is not. You don't have advantage on this attack.
It says you don't need advantage on the attack if you. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you have to have an ally within 5 feet.
Okay, well then I'll just let an arrow rip and hopefully I stick him real good. Not so strong without the armor, lion man.
All right, for 9 damage, you shoot your arrow towards the Mawu, the Wicked, and as you pierce him, you see blood being drawn.
Ah! What did you do to me? War priest.
And Broxark has a grin on his face as he's on one knee on the ground.
Tis not what I did. It is what the Octadic Divine, the goddess of the sun, did herself to you, vile fiend.
All right, Sam, you were able to do 9 piercing damage. Full 9 damage goes through. He has no vulnerability or resistance to that 9 damage. Yelar, it is now your turn.
All right. I am going to cast Witch Bolt at 2nd level.
Let's go.
22
yeah.
will hit. 9 points of
9
lightning
points.
damage. And remember, your Witch Bolt continues to stay on his body. So the next round, if you decide to use your action to just do instant damage, you don't have to roll the attack. It will do instant damage of your Witch Bolt damage. And you rolled it at 2d12, so 9 points. Nice. You strike him. And Mawu the Wicked now is beginning to roar out in pain from the Witch Bolt. Ekhardt, unless Yelar does anything else. What are you doing, Yelar? Anything else?
He's gonna, as he's still laying on the ground as he casts that, and he's just gonna yell out, "You a vile thing! Now you shall earn thy justice. Feel my wrath."
All right. Nice. Ekhardt, you see Sam and Yelar, they just chuck everything they got. Witch Bolt, arrow. It is now you. You feel yourself waking up, and you can see your allies are all healed up and seem to do fine, other than a deck who is obviously not unconscious, but dead, bleeding out along the side of the road. What are you doing?
I will stand up. As he kind of gathers himself, he is going to walk forward 5, 10, 15, kind of within 5 feet of, actually, he'll be right here because he doesn't want to cross the line of electricity that Yelar is putting out. And he just looks at Broxark. I have not seen an ability or a connection to the Octadic Divine of that caliber in all my years. Thank you for blessing us with that, and allow us to use the gift that you have provided us. And with that, he is going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
Got a 20.
That will hit. Look, the dice know the story. I was rolling 1s for the first half of the battle. Now you guys are rolling fucking 20 plus.
I'm with
Hold
it.
on.
I just need
Hold
the
on, my
dice.
turn hasn't come up yet.
I just need the dice not to roll 2, 2, 1, and 2. But that's fine. 7 radiant damage to Mawu.
All right. The 7
And
radiant
any
damage.
attack against him next is going to be with advantage. And as his bonus action, he will cast his last first level spell. And that is going to be as a bonus action, Healing Word. And he's cast it on Broxard.
Okay. Awesome. So
He'll heal 9 hit points. Hopefully that helps to clean up a little bit of the muck and mire this despicable creature has placed upon you.
he just looks over at Ekhardt.
If you have a chicken leg, that would have been much better. But I can deal with this. Thank you, my friend.
I owe you all the chicken legs.
I'll check my bag of plenty of food.
Broxark's still on one knee. He's pretty hurt. I mean, like I said, he's a much older guy nowadays. It's a lot harder for him to go toe-to-toe in physical combat, but he's still up, one knee down. But now it is now Mawu's turn. Mawu has an arrow in him. He has a witch bolt. He's just got struck by a radiant bolt. He's just roaring out in anger.
How dare you? You dare interfere with the affairs of Koldar. You will not defeat a general of Ashae's Koldarian nation.
And he's gonna rush at the closest one. Well, we'll say he's gonna go for Ekhardt, not Broxard. And he just chomps up at you, Ekhardt, with his greatsword, and he swings down. Ooh, I rolled a 3. No matter what, that's gonna miss. And as he does so, he takes his second attack on you. That is a 19. Does that hit you?
That will just hit.
Okay, and the second attack is going to be a 17. Does that hit?
That will miss.
For a total of 9 points of slashing damage. As he cuts into you, Ekhardt, you just get this feeling that he's not nearly as strong as what he was. Whatever Broxard did with his sunburst, it really fucked up this guy.
You're growing weaker, cretin.
We shall see about that. I'm not through. Moritai's corruption runs deep within my soul.
All right, Kai, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
Guy's gonna shoot him with his longbow. Oh, like that.
19. That's going to hit. He doesn't have as much of a high AC. 21. Look, I'm telling you, the
Wait, hold
dice
on.
fucking know.
How will it hit if 21 minus 5 is it?
21 minus 5.
16.
That will hit.
Good. So it's a total of 23 damage.
23 damage. You pierce the back of Malwood with both of your arrows as you do so. He just he feels that. He feels that.
Also, Luna's gonna move there.
Okay, it is now Esqa's turn. Broxard, he's still weakened. He only got healed by 9 HP, but he slowly gets up and he's going to stumble back a bit.
I need to catch my breath. But I will provide something for all of you.
And he's going to step back towards his fallen comrade. And as he looks down at a deck, he just shakes his head.
You did the right thing, my friend, by summoning me. May you have a good afterlife.
But he's going to hold up his hand.
Defenders of Tirastir, defeat this vile fiend this day.
And he's going to cast Bless at a high enough level to affect everyone. You all have Bless.
Yay.
And Esqa, she takes her katana and she's going to rush next to Ekhardt and Mawu the Wicked, but she's going to move herself to where she has advantage on her katana, and she is going to slash at him with her katana of force. And let's see if this deals any damage. Hopefully, the dice should know. With an advantage, that's going to hit. And she is going to deal 15 damage to Mawu the Wicked. As she slashes her dagger up along the side of him, she draws blood, and her katana pushes him to the side, somewhat closer to Ekhardt. Sam, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
All right, Sam is going to move right here. So he's going to take a couple steps forward, and he will attack with his rapier.
All right, so you
At
have
advantage.
Yep, you have the advantage. You're right next to Esqa and Ekhardt now with a 22. That will hit.
Okay.
You get your sneak attack damage as well, so don't forget your 3d6. So 8 piercing damage with your sneak attack.
Okay.
Whoa, 12. All right.
Then
20.
1d4 for my dagger attack.
Yep, you have to
For
see
my
if you
bonus damage.
See if you hit your. Well, you have to see if you hit with your dagger first.
Okay, sorry. At advantage. Oof. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And then a 1d4. 2. So 14, 22.
22
damage.
points of raw piercing damage.
And then I yell out, I will pay back my debt to you, Ekhardt, with this lion man's head.
Take it. It's yours.
Sam just rushes forward and he begins to, in quick succession with his rapier and his dagger, he is piercing Mawu the Wicked. Mawu at this time is yelling out in pain. He is getting hurt. Yelar, it is your turn. You still have your Witch Bolt on him. Are you going to continue to use it as a free attack, or are you going to use something else?
I'm going to continue to use it.
All right.
And that is just D12, correct?
Yes. All right. For 2 points of lightning damage. All right. Anything else from you? Do you stand up completely? Because you're still on the ground, technically.
I'm still. Stay on the ground.
Okay. All right, Ekhardt.
Somebody's taking a nap.
Yeah.
Well, turtles
I'll
on their
just-
shells tend to have problems getting up. So
I was kind of thinking of like the Emperor when he was on the ground.
Limited power.
Unlimited power. All right, Ekhardt, what you doing?
Ekhardt, at this point, is going to take a 5-foot step. As he stands in front of Mawu, I promised you, didn't I? And at this point, he is going to go ahead and attack with advantage with his halberd. He also has blessed, doesn't he? We'll see if it even helps.
Yeah, roll your bless.
If you get a 4,
It did not do well. I got a 14.
All right, nope, that's not gonna hit, unfortunately.
He is with his bonus action because he's fresh out of bonus actions to be able to do. Gonna attack again, but with the butt of it. Still an advantage. I got a 21. It's just a D10. No additional damage. 9. Take that.
All right, so 9 points of damage. So with that, it is now his turn. He drops to a knee again. He is hurting. He is bleeding out much more than he was in the prior battle, and he seems to be having a hard time keeping his posture up.
I cannot fail here. I am a general of Koldar. Emperor Ball shall not have such a failure.
And he is going to swing as hard as he can.
If I die, I'm taking you with me, Esqa.
And he's going to swing at her. I rolled a fucking 2. That's going to miss. The second attack, 1.
good.
Third attack. Are you fucking kidding me? Another 2.
Get out of here, Mawu.
The dice tell the
Oh
story,
my
and your
God.
story's over.
The dice fucking tell the story. He goes to swing and attempt to kill Esqa with his greatsword, but she is able to deflect with her katana, backing away. Kai, giving you an opportunity to attack. Kai, what do you do?
I'll move up, and I guess I'm gonna do what I do best. I'm just gonna lob a couple arrows over that direction. Yeah, I wish I had. Oh, they're from behind. I'm good.
Oh, wow. So remember, you can roll a
D4.
D4 with
Oh,
the 12.
snap! The crit!
The crit.
Oh,
Doesn't he have advantage?
He does have advantage. He's
Yeah.
got 2 crits.
What? Oh, Jesus.
The dice know the story. They tell the story. I'm telling you. Don't I say this every time when we play, Jake?
They know
They
the story.
do. Yes, they do.
We were
Right,
talking
space.
all that shit about D20 or roll 20.
so you're saying
giving
I
us-
got a double crit?
You got a double crit. You did.
Okay.
So it already rolled the damage there for
So-
you. So the first crit was the 5 plus the 8. So
13.
and then you got the 3 and the 6, which is the 9 right there.
So 20.
All right.
Is it okay for me to take a crit and minus it by 5?
Yeah.
Can I take that 27 and make it a 20? Okay. So
I'll let you do it because why not?
Okay.
You can roll 2 fucking crits. I'll let you do it.
All right. So I want Mawu to take 42 points of damage then with those arrows.
Jesus.
All right. Woo. All right. So with that, you just pepper him with arrows as he is on one knee. He seems to now look somewhat pathetic, swinging his great sword towards Esqa, trying to hit her, and you just pierce him in the back of the neck with both of your arrows. He almost drops to the ground. It's now Esca's turn. And as Esqa looks down at Mawu, who is struggling to stay afloat, she just has this, I don't want to say vile, but she has this serious gaze as she looks death down upon him. And she is going to swing her katana with an advantage. Oh, wait, let me not roll my actual dice. Let's roll the dice on roll 20. So with that, it's a 10. She's going to miss, but she is going to use.
Is it bad to say I want her to miss?
I believe she did.
Oh, wait,
Come on.
she has bless.
She gets a
One
D4.
Fuck! Damn it.
I want her to cut his head off, to be honest.
I want to cut his
Exactly.
head off.
You got a rapier, it's pokey.
It would
All right,
fillet
the
him.
first one's still gonna miss, but her second katana swing, she goes to cut down. We'll just say, let's do the damage really quick. Let's even see if this 12 slashing. All right, so she goes to cut down with the katana, and he quickly tries to move his arm in front of it, and it's not able to damage him to kill him, but what she ends up doing is she cuts off his left arm with the katana.
That's good enough.
And continues with the slash, cutting into him. Now, the 12 damage after that crit, I'm going to say congratulations, you guys killed Mawu the Wicked. But I want everyone to describe me your final blow on him. How do you all kill him as a team together? What does your final onslaught look like? Everyone gets to describe how they kill him, starting with Esqa. As I mentioned, Esqa goes down to cut him with the first attack. He blocks it with his arm. She slices through his left arm, cutting it off, continuing with her attack for the 12 slashing force damage that cuts into his side of his, or the front side of his chest. As she cuts into his chest deeply, what does everyone else do? We'll go ahead and start with Sam, Yelar, Ekhardt, and then Kai. Sam, what's your final attack on him?
I want to. So he's down on a knee, correct?
Yes. He just lost an arm, and Esqa is slashing into his chest.
So I want to slash across, like with my rapier. I want to slash him across his face, like his eyes, and then I want to kick him in the chest to like knock him down to get him in position for the rest of us to just waylay on him.
As Esqa slashes into him, Sam, you cut him across the eyes and the face, and then you quickly kick him onto the ground where he's now on his back. Yelar, you still have your witch bolt on him. What are you doing, Yelar? What is your final attack? Are you going to continue to use your witch bolt to continue the burn?
Yes, that is what he's going to do. But he's actually going to just get onto a knee, and he's just going to have that wicked smile that he has on him, just watching him suffer.
Yelar continues to shock him after even just while Esqa and Sam just fucked him up. Yelar is still shocking him. Ekhardt, he's on the ground in front of you. What is your final blow on him?
Eckhart's final blow, as he looks back at Kai, is he shoves the rapier pointed tip first through the small of his throat, so it juts out of the back of his neck, and as it comes to a kind of a cross hilt, it stops there, and he just goes, "Let it fly, Kai."
All right, Kai, it is now you. What is your final blow on him?
You know what? I will let it fly, but I'm not going to let it fly from a distance. I want to walk up. I want to stand on his chest, pull my bow as far back as I can, and let that arrow just sink deep into his skull.
Kelfer, now, have you seen Game of Thrones? Careful now.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's going straight in his skull.
All right. So
he rolls a 1 and shoots himself in the toe.
Kai just walks towards Mawu the Wicked, and right before you do so, Mawu looks up at Kai.
You all, Tirastir, will suffer for this. Esqa, Emperor Baal will not accept this defeat. You will forever be undead.
And as he says so, Kai, you take the final blow with your arrow, and you pierce him in the skull. And as you do so, Mawu the Wicked, he drops his hands completely to the ground as his head moves and falls to the side. His muscular body now begins to slowly, not disintegrate, but it begins to shrink, and all the muscle that was in this body continues to shrink into its now more of a, not necessarily a skeleton, but a creature that seems to be sucked out of all of their fluids. This evil-like aura, you can see this greenish black aura begins to swirl around its body, and soon it disperses and vanishes completely. As that aura dispersed, that now flat body that has been drained of all of its liquid soon bursts into flames, leaving nothing left of Mawu the Wicked. Congratulations, guys. You defeated one of the generals of the Koldarian army.
At that point, Ekhardt barely has the halberd to like barely stand up on. This day, the lines have been drawn. Koldara has no place here on Tirastir.
Esqa is doing the same. She can't believe what just happened. This is a miracle to her. She had no idea that you would all be able to defeat Ma'u the Wicked. Obviously, it took the help of an old, powerful war priest to do so. Thank the heavens that your ally, Adek, was able to summon Broxard. But as she's attempting to gather her thoughts and herself, she has this look on her of shock, and she still can't grasp the fact that you all defeated one of the generals. Broxard, he's slowly walking towards the group. He sheathes his long blade or his long sword.
Hey, good work, everyone. You all did well. If I had a chicken leg for all of you, I'd give you one. Fine fighting there, everyone. That fiend really hurt me there. If it wasn't for all of you, I can't say if I would have survived that. But I came at the right time, it seems. Adek summoned me with the holy idol I provided him, and I told him to use it in his most dire moments. Unfortunately, he had to use it. I had hoped he wouldn't, but here we are. I hope you're all well. This battle is an act of war in my eyes. Come with me. We shall reach Gar's Watch, and I shall have more of my troops follow you and escort you to the Azurian stronghold. No other Koldarian will lay their hands on you after this day.
And he's continuing to try and catch his breath. He looks over at the rest of you, and Esqa just looks at everyone. I can't believe we really killed Ma'u the Wicked. This, I did not expect this. I cannot thank you all enough for everything you've done. But we cannot stop here. We must continue forward to the Azurian Brotherhood. They must know what happened. And with that, what is everyone doing at this point?
Ekhardt will take Adeg's last wishes. He will make sure all of the bodies of the children are put to rest.
All right. Broxard, after he catches his breath and gets a hold of himself, you can see that the wound that he obtained after fighting Ma'u was a pretty deep wound. It hurt him pretty badly, but he's eventually able to heal himself after a couple of minutes. But he also joined you in the honor of putting Adeg to rest with the travelers that you came across, the family. And while that's going on, Yelar, Kai, Sam, what are you all doing?
Is his the sword that he was using, is it there's anything to it?
The great sword that Ma'u was using, it's on the ground.
Is there like any
eyes are sparkling?
Is there anything to it? Is it just a regular greatsword?
You'd have to inspect it.
Okay. Would it be an arcana? I guess it would be an arcana check, right? Or would it be a perception?
I would say an arcana in this case, because you're trying to see if there's any magical attributes. But do me a favor. Do you pick it up? Do you touch it?
I want to inspect it first.
Do I see him attempt to do this?
Yes, you do.
Stop it. Do not touch that weapon. It reeks of evil.
Well, I didn't know if we should discard of it.
If anything, the best person here to be able to make manage of it or to see it melted down into slag is Broxog.
You still roll a 24 in your arcana. As you get closer, before you're warned by Ekhardt, as you're inspecting the greatsword, you can sense and feel this evil-like presence attempting to pull at you, Sam. You like earlier in the fight where you felt something tugging at your mind.
Yeah.
When you made that wisdom saving throw, something of the similar feel happens as you get closer to it. And that's when Ekhardt warned you. And as Ekhardt warns you, you get the idea that Ekhardt is not joking around after you felt that. With the 24 Arcana, you definitely feel something that doesn't seem normal by any means.
Okay, I'll leave it be.
And
I just wanted some cool loot, man.
So Kai is going to walk past Esqa, give her a reassuring shoulder tap, and then head over and help Ekhardt with the bodies as well.
Okay. So as that happens, after a good 30 minutes to an hour or so of you guys recollecting yourselves, burying the bodies, you're all able to finally bury them and rest, place their bodies into rest. And Broxark, he's slowly going to walk over towards the great sword, and he looks down at it with disgust. And as he does so, he places both of his hands together, and he begins to pray, and he begins to speak out, and he holds a hand out. And as he does so, this radiant energy bursts from his hands towards the great sword. It begins to basically shine brightly as if the sun was touching it. And that great sword bursts into radiant flames. There is this aura that seeps out of the great sword that soon vanishes. And as Broxark backs away from the great sword, he looks over at the rest of you.
Whatever evil was in there, it's now gone. It's just a normal greatsword now.
And with that, go ahead.
I continue to be impressed, Broxark.
So, well, that's what many years of traveling with a bunch of misfits will do to you when you're hunting down a dragon named Galakrond. You tend to learn things in the adventure.
What an interesting fellow.
All right, so Sam, I want to walk over now that the thing's all purified and it doesn't feel all funky. I want to walk over to the sword and I want to pick it up. Okay. Then I want to walk over to Ekhardt because I owe Ekhardt a great deal of coin. A great deal of coin. And I want to look at Ekhardt and I want to say, I'm sorry we weren't able to get the head of the beast, but you could still keep this sword as a trophy just in case anybody else wants to press their luck with us or you in your upcoming adventures.
Ekhardt will take this enormous great sword. And
I forget that it's a lot bigger than Ekhardt because I'm a bigger individual, I guess.
Yeah, you picking it up is probably a lot easier than Ekhardt would. And Ekhardt just kind of looks at you and goes, I appreciate all that you have done.
He throws it in a bush.
Ekhardt at that point, he looks at this blade that's now kind of been purified, and it's probably decent looking, but it's a shadow of what it used to be. And you know what? He calls upon Penella to guide him. He looks down at the blade and he hitches it actually to his back. I believe this blade will make a fine shovel. It will be used to bury further people. And it will be used for holy ceremony rather than its form or use.
Sam just looks pleased and kind of goes back to it like after Ekhardt lets him know that he you can tell, like Sam can tell that Ekhardt wasn't like the most pleased by getting it, but he at least wasn't rude about it. So Sam seems pleased and just goes on about what they were doing before.
Yelar, during all this, what are you doing?
Just kind of taking in the moment after watching getting defeated and just kind of muttering to himself a little bit. Nothing really that anyone can hear.
Okay. Well, after a good few more minutes after you're able to bury everyone and collect everything on the field, again, there's not much really to collect other than potential items that might have flew out of the wagon when it was destroyed. Broxark, he is beginning to lead the way. He's tired, again, older half-orc, and he tells the party that Gar's Watch, which is the fortress along the western border of Zolgun into the Decaying Waste, is only a few more days away. But as he begins to walk away to lead you all there, after making sure you're all fully healed and okay, Esqa, for a moment, she's still looking down at the ground where Mau the Wicked disintegrated, and she looks up at everyone. And before you all can continue, she speaks up and just acknowledges that, you know, that you're all still alive and you all stayed with her throughout this entire journey. And she speaks up and says, you know, what he said wasn't wrong. You still willing to help me?
Yeah, why not?
I poisoned a whole village of innocent people. There is no redemption for what I have done. I am just as evil, or I have committed evil acts, as he's said. And she seems to be somewhat disturbed by this. She's finally gained enough trust, and I think the group at this point. You've been traveling for a good many weeks now, and you've proven yourselves to be allies at this point through all the battles you've had with her enemies. And she just has this feeling of like she's finally able to somewhat come out and explain herself to you. She has kept this secret from you all, but Mau kind of just, he let it all out. I cannot forget the things I have done. There is no forgetting the death that I have brought upon the innocence of Ashae. But I see that this is my only chance to redeem myself by bringing this word to the Azurian Brotherhood. There's nothing more for me to do after this. I truly appreciate everything you've done for me. I hope that knowing my past doesn't make you think any different of myself.
Yelar's going to speak up. Well, if it was to protect your family, I completely understand. I would actually do the same. I've done the same. Well, not hurting innocent people, but you catch my drift.
She looks at Yelar. Mau the Wicked was the general that led the Koldarian forces to conquer my home nation of Aloria. After we were conquered, they forced all of our capable soldiers that fought back the forces of Koldar to join the ranks of the Empire by holding our families and our loved ones prisoner. If we disagreed with anything they said, they would torture our families. I was forced to go into a nation known as Shimara, where I had tricked a poor man into allowing me into the sacred pond of his village, where I was told to poison. After it was poisoned, many of the villagers drank from it, and I would say more than half of the villagers died after that. Upon returning from my mission, however, my brother and sister, they were the only two I had left after we were attacked by the Koldarian forces. I did it for my brother and sister, for if I was to refuse, they would kill them. But I am here now because upon my return from this mission, I found many of Koldar's terrible scientists doing vile things with my siblings. We'll just say that after returning, my siblings were not themselves. They were monstrosities. I was forced to strike them down, and after doing so, I fled with the secrets of Koldar, and that is why I am now here. I know I was forced to do it to protect my family, but despite it was still my choice to kill innocent lives. May the Omnikami forgive me. There is nothing I can do in this world that will ever redeem me of my actions. I hope that my actions now, at least, can warn the people of Tirastir of what has taken place in Ashae. And I want to thank every single one of you for sticking with me on this entire journey. And she kind of just goes silent there at that point, and she sheathes her katana and begins to pick up her bags and everything. But at that point, you can kind of get the sense now that you truthfully have the true Esqa talking to you, not so much of the guarded and more serious tone. She seems to have a trust in all of you now.
I was going to say, so Sam kind of, as she's speaking, he kind of gets closer as he was finishing up, packing up and stuff like that. As for all of us here, none of us, besides probably the wolf, are perfect. And we would all done the same deal and deeds to protect our families. There's no need for apologies. What is done, and we cannot go back and redo what we have done.
I get what you're saying, my friend Sam. However, I will never be able to forgive myself for lying to the gentleman that I was able to gain trust. I killed many of his people. All of the people of his town were kind. They did not deserve such a death. The poison that I used was not a quick one. It was one that made them die a slow and terrible death. I will never be able to forgive myself, but I have to do what I must to continue on. And if I must be judged by the Azurian Brotherhood when I am to get there, then so shall it be. But I am glad that you understand my side, and to hear that you would have done the same puts me a little bit more at ease with my actions. But never, I can forgive myself, never. So with that, does anyone else say anything, or are we going to push on to the next scene really quick?
Ekhardt will just say one piece to Esqa. Redemption is not on us to determine. It is based off of our actions going forward. Keep that in mind, Esqa.
She nods over at Ekhardt.
Kai wants to look at her and he wants to say that she's right. You may not get redemption. It may never come. But what you can do is never forget what you've done, push forward, and keep atoning for those sins. Because in that way, even then, you will honor the memories of the ones you have wronged.
As you say this, Broxark he walks up towards the group. He can overhear this conversation. He just nods.
I can't think of any words that would have been finer said than that, Kai. Oh. It's just as all your friends mentioned, Esqa. You can only continue your path forward. Keep doing what you've been doing, and I'm sure even the gods of Ashae will shine brightly down upon you. Let us not forget the actions of Mawu the Wicked and any of the Koldarians. So let us continue to Gar's watch, and then to the Azurian stronghold, so that you may deliver the message that you have seeked out to do from the beginning. You have not failed this day. Follow me, my friends. I myself, Broxark of the Galakrond's End, will keep you safe.
And with that, Broxark begins to take you all towards Gar's watch. And after a few days of travel, you reach Gar's watch, where it is a heavily fortified fortress by more Zogunnian soldiers. And you're able to stop there for rest. Broxark relays the information to Zogun, basically giving them the details so that they may tell their warlord of the details of what transpired here. And after resting in Garrison's watch, Broxark is a man of his word. He travels with the rest of the party through the borders into the decaying waste, as dangerous as it is. You are all now escorted by Broxark himself and a whole platoon of Zogunnian soldiers. Probably a good 20 or so of them have escorted you to the Azurian Brotherhood, where you finally reach your destination, the final place of your adventure. The Brotherhood welcomes you all to their inner city in the decaying waste. And as terrible the decaying waste is, the Azurian Brotherhood city is well alive. It is like any other city. It is busy. It is an amazing one that is surrounded by walls all around it, with several magicians, wizards, soldiers guarding every inch of the wall that they can to protect it from any vile demons or devils that would attempt to attack it. Esqa is finally able to deliver the scroll and the message to the Azurian Brotherhood. And as she does so, the party, you are all met with an individual from the office. And remember, when you first took the quest in Estelle Duin, you were in the office of a man named Garrison Malboran. He told you as soon as you reached the city of the Azurian Brotherhood, he had an office there. This individual works with Garrison and his mercenaries and whatnot. And as that individual reaches you, you are all led to Garrison's second office there. He's not there, but the individual there pays you what was promised. You all have gained a total of 10,000 gold for this mission to escort her there. 10,000 gold is no joke. You were all well off for the rest of your lives if you spend it wisely. 10,000 gold is a lot.
Is it per person or was it 2,000?
It was 10,000 per person.
Jeez.
That's a lot of coffee.
Esqa stole a shitload from Koldar when she left Koldar. That is what she's paying with Koldarian money. And it equated to the goods that she provided Garrison led up to be 10,000 gold each for all of you. She did not collect any of that gold. She had her own gold, but she refused to keep any of it. Her whole sole mission purpose was to come to the Azurian Brotherhood. And eventually she is separated from all of you and to basically tell them what transpired while you're all collecting your money. But after you all have collected your goods, Broxard, he has joined Esqa to speak with the Azurian Brotherhood now that he has seen Mau the Wicked, one of the generals. And after Broxard and Esqa speak with the Azurian Brotherhood, they both step out of the meeting afterwards and they meet with all of you in the city. Broxard, he gives his farewell to everyone as he has another job to do. He is, again, a lord of the city of Galakron's End in Zogun. He wishes you all good luck, farewell, and safe travels as he heads back home with Zogunian soldiers, leaving the rest of you with Esqa in the city of the Azurian Brotherhood. And at this point, Esqa just looks at the rest of you. Well, it seems, especially with the help of Broxard, that the Azurian Brotherhood is definitely going to help keep watch on Koldar, possibly send a few spies or two to see what's going on in Ashae. That is the most that I can ask for. I'm not sure how much help they'll be able to provide the other nations, but I've done my part. What are the rest of you going to be doing with yourselves? And she looks at all of you. I'll give you all an opportunity to say your final word here for the final episode of the side story, but we'll go Sam, Yelar, Ekhardt, and then Kai. Sam, what are you saying to this? She's asking kind of the group, where are you all going from here on out? Kind of the same thing that a Deg kind of mentioned or asked you all, but this time it's Esqa asking, and she kind of wants to know where everyone's heading to now. Your mission is over. She basically tells you, your mission's over. This is where we split. I have no other jobs for you. I don't have any money to pay you. So where are you all going?
Well, I think my debt is paid for the foolish actions that I have acted on. I think I will return to Strider Valley and to Riverhall. Enjoy some good mead, take a break at Dagger Lake, and then, I don't know, I might take them up on the offer of coming back to Galakron's End and seeing if I can make some coin, or journey to Larok's stronghold and see what kind of adventures I can get into.
She nods at you and she just smiles. Well, I wish you fun and joyful drinking wherever you go, my friend Sam. And she looks at Yelar. And you, my friend, are you going to stick around here in the Azurian Brotherhood? Do you still wish for me to help you with that aim of yours? It seems like you were finally able to strike the target with your witch bolt on that final fight. I don't think you need my help anymore, Yelar.
Well, if you're still offering, I'll definitely take you up on that offer. But if not, missing the swamp. It's nice out here, but that swamp feels good.
Well, truthfully, there's not really much I can teach you any more than what I saw during our last battle, Yelar. And you do say you're from the swamps. I mean, there's nothing like going back home, right? And with that, she looks at Bog and she bows down or nods to Yelar. Yelar, again, as well as Sam, thank you for your aid. I am in your debt. And thank you, Bog, for accompanying me on this journey.
Yelar just smiles, and Bog doesn't say it.
All right, and
Bog
Ekhardt
talks now.
yeah. And she looks over at Ekhardt. And you, my good friend Ekhardt, what will you be doing, my friend?
Been some time since I've made this trip. I'll probably stay here for a while, check in on old garrisons, see if I can help provide any healing services to some of the hardworking young men and women here. And then I think I will do my time to travel back across the border. Visit a place I've always wanted to go in Galakron's End. And then at that point, wherever Penella leads me. But it has been a pleasure, Esqa. And my services are always available, be the need arise again.
She nods to Ekhardt with a smile. Thank you so much for your help, Ekhardt. It is appreciated, my friend. And then she looks at Kai and Luna and she gives them both a smile. And last but not least, my friend Kai and dear Luna, what about yourselves? What are you going to do?
I is going to look at Esqa and be like, you know what? I think I'm going to stick around. I think I'll actually follow you around and help you with your journey for atonement, shall we say.
She looks at you and she gives you she raises an eyebrow and she goes, you sure about that? Because I'm really not sure what I'm going to do from here on out. I wasn't sure if I was going to join the Azurian Brotherhood or attempt to continue my efforts to bring aid to Ashae. Part of me really wants to go back home to help against Koldar. I feel like standing around here in Tirastir looking for a new life doesn't suit me. I feel like returning to Ashae is the only option I really have at this point. But I'm not sure what else the Azurian Brotherhood needs of me. I am to stay here for the next few days. So I guess if you want to stay around in the city, I'll be here for a bit longer.
Oh, I'll stick around. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing what Ashae looks like.
It's very beautiful in Ashae. Even parts of Koldar are extremely beautiful, my friend. The only thing not so beautiful about it are the Koldorians that follow Emperor Ball. I hope that you do get to visit Ashae because, again, it is a nice and welcoming place despite the war that is currently taking place there. Beautiful, beautiful place. With that, then, she looks at the rest of you with a smile. My dear friends, I guess this is goodbye for now. Until next time, and hopefully we will meet again. I hope you all safe travels on your individual journeys. And she gives you all a smile and allows you all at this point to go your separate ways. And with that, we will say this ends the final side story episode of Taverns and Caverns, the Sorceress of Aloria. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this magical, crazy adventure. This is probably the longest side story we've had so far. Congratulations, guys. You got it. You did it.
So we got the best of both worlds. The DM got to kill us, and he's happy, and we got to kill the bad guy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The first half. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Taverns and Caverns. But before we go, you can follow me on Twitter at HaphazardDM.
Yeah, my name is Jake Life. You can find me on Twitter at JKLife. You can also find me on Instagram at the same.
Yeah, I'm Rod, also Rodimus. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and plug my social media. Maybe might encourage me to actually use it more. You can follow me on Instagram at Rodimus83 and on Twitter at Rodimus7901.
And I'm Patrick. Thank you, Hap, again for having us and inviting us to this. And you can find me on Twitch at Casper, spelled with a K, The Wicked, WIKID. And you can also find me on Twitter and the same thing.
I'm Mark. Thank you, Hap, for letting me experience my first time on D&D. I actually quite enjoyed myself, even though I was quiet for the most part. But I have nothing to plug in social media-wise.
All right, cool. Well, no problem. That's okay. But those are all of our players. You can find them all on the Twitter or Instagram handles that they've mentioned. And again, you can find Taverns and Caverns at tavernscaverns.com or Taverns Caverns on Twitter. Thank you so much, everyone, and you all have a wonderful day or night.